Have you ever felt that sense of peace is always just beyond your grasp? In a world filled with noise, deadlines, and social comparison, it's easy to believe that our worth lies in constant pursuit. But what if the real path to fulfillment isn't in chasing, but in surrendering? This story follows a young man named Leo on his journey to discover that true peace and contentment come from letting go of his attachments rather than holding on tightly to them. Through his trials, he learns the wisdom embedded in Buddhist teachings that life begins when we stop chasing. Chapter 1: The Echo of Unrest. Leo was just a few years into his career as a graphic designer, and what once sparked joy had transformed into a constant chase for perfection. Surrounded by a buzzing city filled with aspiring creatives, he often felt that his success measured against the glowing screens of others. As he scrolled through social media, the flashy posts of fellow designers made him compare his worth, often leaving him feeling less than enough. Look at what they're achieving, Leo thought, his heart heavy with envy. The need to chase accolades and recognition drowned out the whispers of his own happiness. Days turned into nights filled with sleepless, scrolling contemplation. The louder the world grew, the more Leo felt like a ghost trapped in the clutter of his thoughts. One late evening, Leo took a breather on his balcony. The cool air held a whisper, an unpretentious invitation to pause. He took a deep breath, longing for the elusive peace that seemed forever out of reach. Chapter 2: The Weight of Clinging. As Leo explored this concept of peace, he realized he was clinging to various outcomes: recognition at work, validation from peers, and a certain image he felt he needed to uphold. This pursuit left him drained. Admitting that he was chasing fulfillment instead of embracing it was a difficult pill to swallow. Driven by desperation, Leo turned to self-help books and podcasts, attempting to patch the cracks in his happiness. Yet, nothing seemed to yield lasting change. One fateful night, consumed by the chaos within, he found himself on the bathroom floor. He whispered, "What am I missing?" A sense of surrender washed over him, a small voice echoing, "Let go." Chapter 3: The Turning Point. The following day, Leo decided to meet with an old friend Maya, a fellow designer who exuded calmness that always intrigued him. Without hesitation, she invited him to an open-air meditation session in the park. Skeptical but curious, Leo reluctantly agreed. Once seated, he noticed his mind racing. Thoughts of deadlines, design critiques, and societal pressures swirling like a whirlwind. But Maya guided him gently. Breathe in peace, breathe out tension. In that moment, he learned that it didn't matter whether he perfected a piece of art. What mattered was the journey of creation itself. As the session deepened, Leo felt something shift. He saw his thoughts not as chains that bound him, but as clouds that floated by. Authenticity began to unravel, and something profound whispered quietly within him. Chapter 4: Surrender is Strength. Through meditation, Leo discovered that surrender was not an admission of defeat, but rather a recognition of his strength. The relentless chase for success had kept him in a constant state of discontent. It felt liberating to release the pressure of needing to achieve. As days passed, Leo began to practice surrendering in small ways. Instead of forcing connections with clients or peers, he opened himself to organic conversations and genuine relationships. Instead of seeking approval, he poured his heart into his projects for the love of creation rather than for accolades. Once, he received a critical review from a client. Instead of crumbling in self-doubt, he took a step back, reminded himself it was just one opinion, and sought to learn rather than defend his work. Each act of surrender returned him to a place of clarity, where his creativity could flow unrestricted. As Leo delved into the art of surrender, the importance of presence emerged. How often had he rushed through life, constantly planning for the next big achievement, rather than fully engaging in the moment? One afternoon, he took a break from his computer to stroll through the city. The colors of the leaves, the laughter in the air, the rhythm of city life, it all became vividly alive as he engaged his senses. He stopped to appreciate the intricate designs of street art and the warmth of the sun against his skin, realizing he was never truly present. Buddhism teaches that presence is where peace resides. Leo felt the pulse of life around him as he embraced each experience. He found solace in realizing that perfection was not a destination, but merely a fleeting concept shaped by his perceptions. As Leo's journey progressed, he faced a critical challenge: the detachment from his identity tied to his career and design. Moments of fear arose as he questioned, who am I without this job and these achievements? But he realized that his worth was innate, beyond accolades and titles. One night, while contemplating life's uncertainties, he recalled an image from his meditation. A storm was brewing in his mind, but he recognized he was merely the vast sky, untouched by the thunder. This intuition illuminated a deeper truth. His identity could transform, but he remained whole. Releasing the need to define himself by achievements allowed him to experience freedom. He began embracing each project not as a necessity for validation, but as a chance to express himself authentically. This shift in perspective redefined his creative endeavors, transforming them into joyful explorations. Leo found himself facing emotional pain, the realization that life doesn't always meet our expectations. His mind moved to resist discomfort, clasping tightly to past ambitions and relationships. Through meditation, he learned that acceptance is not passive. It's an active engagement with reality. One day, during his practice, he finally faced his own hurt. Instead of viewing it as an enemy, he sat with it, recalling a time when he gripped tightly to what slipped away. I am hurt, and that's okay, he told himself. In that moment, acceptance became his ally, transforming pain into a lesson. He sought comfort not in burying his grief, but in acknowledging it as part of his journey. Leo began recognizing the strength within vulnerability, fostering deeper connections with those around him. As Leo delved deeper into Buddhist teachings, he learned about impermanence. Traditionally tied to loss, he adopted a new perspective. Instead of viewing change as an adversary, he began to see it as a natural flow of life. The more he linked his sense of control to relationships and professional milestones, the greater the sense of panic when things shifted. One evening, during a quiet reflection, he let go of the tight grip he had around an old relationship, realizing that what once brought happiness had now turned stagnant. The fear of losing that relationship morphed into profound gratitude for what it had taught him. Suddenly, Leo understood that every moment was a gift, beautifully ephemeral. By accepting change, he felt liberated, allowing life to unfold on its own terms. With months of practice in surrender, presence, and acceptance, Leo arrived at stillness. It became a refuge, a sanctuary, where the answers to life began to reveal themselves. Determined to share this wisdom, Leo turned to his creative outlets. He began designing a project themed around letting go and acceptance, intertwining narratives of resilience and healing. Each stroke became a reflection of his journey, inviting others to find peace in surrender. As he wrapped up the project, he realized he had stopped chasing perfection. Instead, the design flowed from him, unforced and natural. This genuine expression became not just a piece of art, but a mantra that resonated with a deeper understanding of life. Leo's journey taught him that peace doesn't lie ahead. It resides within, waiting to be discovered. Surrender is not weakness. It's an invitation to embrace life as it is. Through his reflections and newfound awareness, he learned that true fulfillment arises when we release our tight grip on outcomes and liberate ourselves from societal expectations. As he shared his story in art, Leo inspired others to uncover their hidden peace. Each person in his circle began their own journey of letting go, reminding them that life isn't about chasing what we think we need, but recognizing what is already present. In the stillness, Leo found freedom and authenticity, inviting others to do the same, a path where the chase ends and life in all its chaos and beauty begins.